On today's episode, we're making grilled pork belly skewers with a homemade hot honey baste. The preparation is simple, the cook is even simpler. Let's get right into this cook and let me show you what to do. So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, not only the pork belly skewers, but trying this hot honey. Now we have tried Mike's hot honey before, but today I wanted to make a homemade hot honey, baste these, and I think that it's gonna turn out really good. I'm really looking to see if the hype, if this lives up to the hype, because I've been seeing it all over social media and now it's our turn. So the preparation for this is extremely simple. Today I have some natural pork belly that I picked up from my local HEB. The cool thing about these is it's already cut into strips, which is perfect for what I want to do today. And like I mentioned a second ago, this pork belly is already into nice thick strips. It's not too big, but it's exactly where I wanted it to be pretty much. I kind of want these to cook fast. I want to grill them. I want to get some of that good char flavor on these. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these right in half. And this right here is exactly what I'm going to be left with. From here, I'm just going to place my skewer about halfway into the pork belly. And this right here is exactly what I'm looking for. Now that we're done skewering, we're going to hit both sides with a little bit of Osmo salt. And today's salt's the only seasoning that we're going to be using. We're keeping the seasoning simple today because we really just want to make sure that we're tasting this hot honey here in a minute. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Alonzo with GulfCoastSmoke.com. Welcome to my backyard. If you guys have been watching us for a while, welcome back. I wanted to make sure that I did introduce myself because on the last two videos, I really forgot it because I was trying that new intro, which I really like. I think you guys really like it as well, but I keep forgetting to say my name. So my name is Alonzo. Welcome to my backyard. Let's get right into this cook. Now I've got my B&B briquettes that I'm gonna put on one side of my grill, just creating a two-zone fire. I want one side where I'm gonna put the pork belly over direct, and if I need to, I can pull it off to the indirect side just to finish cooking. Charcoal grate on. Now I'm going to start laying my pork belly down right over the hot coals. I do want to hear that sizzle. I'm trying to render this fat, and like I talked about earlier, I want a little bit of that crispiness for that texture on this pork belly. And the reason I only use 3/4 of a chimney on this pork belly is because while I do want it hot, I don't want anything to burn. So I'm going to be flipping this consistently. I can already see some bubbling over here. It's not as hot as it is over here on this side, but I'm just making sure that I'm watching everything. I'm going to flip this consistently until I get the color that I want. And as I'm moving things around, you can see where the hot spots are here on this grill. And that's exactly also why I only wanted to use 3/4 of the chimney, because if I put any more on here, I'm really risking burning everything and getting a lot hotter. Now, as this cook is going on, I had to improvise just a little bit, and I took the skewers out of the pork belly because it really just wasn't working. Even though I went ahead and soaked it in water, it just completely was burning away, and you can see here how fast that this will flare up. So I'm just trying to be really quick with what I'm doing. I don't want anything to burn, but I do want to get that beautiful char on this pork belly. So we are going to finish this indirect. And the cool thing about this also, let me move to the side here, is that if I need to, I can absolutely spin this grate and get this pork belly away from the hot coals. That's one of the advantages of having this slow and sear spinning grate. You know, even if you don't have the actual kettle itself, you can get this grate. I'll put a link in the description for you guys to check that out, but it really, truly is one of my favorite things about having a kettle in general. I really think that this grate right here is just a game changer. You pretty much have to have it. So it's been about 2 to 3 minutes on this pork, and I'm just consistently flipping it, trying to get the nice char that I want here. And one of the things I did want to talk about is the color on this pork belly. So we did just season with salt. Remember that. So that's why you're not getting that deep red color, or maybe not even like a brown char looking color right away, because we didn't use anything with sugar in it. We didn't use black pepper. We used nothing. This has salt, and we're about to add all that delicious flavor. After just a few minutes, I'm going to put down that pork belly, and we're going to move this all to the indirect side, and I think that it looks really good. I see a little bit of char right here on the outside of that fat, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. So now let's put together our homemade hot honey. Hopefully it tastes just as good as the Mike's hot honey, which is the one that I think is pretty popular right now, but I think that this is going to be amazing. Now we're going to make our homemade hot honey, and I have some Crybaby Craig's habanero and garlic hot sauce that one of my good buddies sent me. So we're going to use this as our hot, and of course, I've also got some honey here that I just picked up from my local HEB. I'm going to start with a 50-50 blend here, and then we'll adjust as needed. So I'm just going to throw in a decent amount of honey because I want to put it all over this pork belly. And then I'm going to put the same amount of hot sauce in there. I like spicy food, so hopefully this is really good. I'm going to mix this together. I want that vinegar sauce to kind of thin everything out, so we could use this to baste. Now, I tasted this on my finger, and I'll tell you what, it tastes absolutely unreal. So I'm just going to baste it all over this pork belly here. I'm going to make sure to get plenty. And I'm actually going to leave a few of these with none of this hot honey glaze on there, just because my kids are not going to like it. That habanero hot sauce is actually pretty spicy on its own, so I'm going to leave a few of them with nothing on it. So now we're just going to be patient, and we're going to flip the pork belly consistently until we get a nice glaze on the outside. So it's probably already cooked. I'm not going to take any internals or anything like that. I'm just looking to get that nice char, which I already got, and now I'm looking to build that glaze on the outside. So I'm saying about 5 to 6 more minutes, and then we're going to be ready to eat. Just a few minutes later, you can see there's some really great color developing on this pork belly as we're flipping, as we're basting. So all that color that we didn't have earlier, we're now getting it with this hot honey glaze. And I promise you, I'm super excited for this one. There was actually a point during the video, it's going to be time to try. I was a little skeptical, but this is really, I think this is going to turn out exactly the way I wanted to. And the best part about it is I have some of this extra hot honey. I'm going to glaze one more time on this side. I'm going to put a heavy coating. Then I'm just going to let it tack up. We're going to take this inside, and then it's going to be time to try. And that's all there is to it on our pork belly that was basted with homemade hot honey. And I think that this turned out exactly the way I wanted to. It's exactly the way I envisioned it. And for whatever reason, I kind of envisioned it as an Asian dish. So I put some rice in there, I put some egg rolls, and that's exactly the way we're going to eat it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. The kids had ballet today. It feels like we're a family of 5 that's struggling to get everything going. The kids are literally eating dinner right here. So I'm going to finish the video. We're going to try this out, and then we'll be back for the next one. Pork belly feels tender, looks delicious. Yes. The first thing that pops out to me is the texture of the pork belly. It's definitely not fall apart tender like when you're making pork belly burnt ends, but it has a perfect bite to it, something that I really prefer with this type of dish. Of course, that hot honey just came out so outrageous. That hot sauce on its own is actually pretty hot. Not sponsored or anything. Like I said, my friend just sent me that stuff, and it turned out to be really amazing, so I told him I wanted to make my own hot honey, and I'm just really happy with the way that everything turned out. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you're here for the first time, this is our content. This is how we do things. Family of 5, having a good time in the kitchen. Sometimes things are a little bit hectic, but there's always time to put good food on the table. As always, we really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.